So today I got a replay from a game, actually from yesterday. I kind of played around with the audio on this a couple times, tried a couple different things. But anyways, I'm in a division, and this is the new Tier 9 Premium Kronshtadt. Hope I said that right. Division dub. This is a all Russian cruiser division. 2 Kronstadts and a Moskva. I'm taking a swig off my coffee. It is morning in my time zone, so I was up late messing around with this video last night, but wanted to finish up the audio. Normally I skip the initial positioning, the first 50-60 seconds of the game, but somebody was actually asking about the ship and what I thought about it. My reply was not bad. It's got good AP and range, crazy health pool, obviously, and they replied, just not bad. Is it worth the 750 free XP? Well, that's a subjective question. I can't answer that for you or anyone else for that matter. I was sitting on about 1.8 million free XP. So I took 750,000 of it, and I purchased or researched the Kronstadt. I already have the Musashi and the Missouri. This is probably my third or fourth. I take that back. It's probably my fourth or fifth game. Enemy force detected. I've had pretty good luck with the ship. I've had fun playing it. It is definitely a beast. This video is not a review because that's not my thing, and I'll leave it to others who are better. But it's a good ship. I've had fun playing it. With the recent release of the U.S. cruiser line and the cruiser split, the gameplay has been interesting to say the least in random games. So I've got a pretty low win rate in it, but I've had been very effective with it. And here's an example. A Bao Citadel on a crappy aim shot on a Moskva. Notice our team's positioning, and we immediately lose one of our gearings that went to A. It's going to be a big hit for us, losing a DD this early. This is just a couple days after the U.S. cruiser line was released, so there are a ton of cruisers, and everybody is playing super passive. There's also a ton of radar. I'm kind of seeing two play styles with the DDs: either rush in and get killed, or play super passive and not truly play the objective. So anyways, excuse me, you'll notice that my division, along with an Iowa and another gearing, are taking C. The Missouri that spawned with us is actually choosing to go back and help at A. Not sure why, but that is what it is. So things I like about the Kronstadt: it's got crazy Russian velocity, crazy strong AP. You'll see a couple examples of that, and please keep in mind I am by no means a hardcore cruiser player. I do enjoy playing a few of the cruisers. A few of them I don't enjoy at all. Excuse me. So we've also lost our Buffalo. Not far behind, our gearing that pushed into A was a Buffalo, and apparently backing off was not in his plan. I think we lose another ship over there, and I repeatedly asked those guys to back off. you'll see. I think we actually have B and C when I do this, so there's really no need to be pushing into a cap that you're heavily outnumbered at. Yeah, you know, typical random gameplay. You know what? One thing I will say is since ranked came out, random feels like ranked. And what I mean by that is, I feel like people are just playing for themselves. And the Missouri that chose to go to A from the spawn at B is taken out by the Montana. I'm not really sure what happened there, but my guess is he gave a big bad Montana a lot of broadside, and the Montana gave him an attitude adjustment. So yeah, not a good start to the game. They've only lost to Buffalo. I haven't done a lot. We got our gearing is back into B, going back into B, and one of my division mates and the Iowa are in C, although the Iowa's positioning is a little bit questionable. At this point, I don't know why he is where he is. He's going to probably get heavily focused, and I can already see shots going in on him. And he's asking for help. So it's about this point where I start asking the guys at A to back off. You can see, however, we have a Richelieu that's pushed pretty deep. We have a Yamato that's going into the cap, which has a DD in it, and 3 or 4 big ships behind them. So I don't know what's going on there. 12K salvo and a sit on the key. I think I had done like 7K before that, and we're sitting at about 15 kilometers. And here's my second or my third salvo. Hit a double citadel and finish him off. Tier 8 battleships, I've citadeled at 8 or 9 or 18 kilometers. So this boat definitely can do some damage. Against cruisers, it's a monster. You do not want to give this boat broadside. It's somewhat tanky. I've noticed that in most of the games I've played, I've generally lasted to the end, and the red team has... I felt like it was almost like playing the Conqueror. People kind of avoided you. Of course, until you maybe are the last ship or the last one or two ships, then you seem to get a lot more focus. But I've pretty much sailed around. I haven't even used a heal yet, and we are 8 minutes into the game. We're down 3 ships. We've now lost the Iowa and the Richelieu that I mentioned. It was a 4K HE salvo. I will say you can, if you angle correctly, you can bounce a lot of the battleship's shells. You are pretty susceptible to HE, however. And that was, I think, a 13,000 salvo on the bow and turrets of that battleship. So, yeah, we're almost 9 minutes into the game, and we're sitting on about 74,000. And I end up taking out that Montana. So 76,000, 4 citadels, and 2 kills. I would say my average is probably around 100-ish thousand in this damage. I've had one bad game, but I think every other game after that I've averaged probably 120-ish. So overall, I can't complain. Again, I would hardly consider cruiser as my strong point. So yeah, we're gonna keep on pushing over here. my my division mates have fallen back and vacated the sea cap. So we have a cruiser. I believe there's a cruiser and a DD, or a battleship and a DD. There's a battleship and a DD in there, along with the Moskva. So, yeah, it looks like an Iowa. You have to bear with me. The replay, a little hard to see the names of the ship or the classes of the ship. But, yeah. We're gonna try to dish out some love to this Moskva and this Iowa. And the Moskva is sitting broadside to my division mates, and then he goes down. And I was hoping this Iowa was going to stay broadside to me, even if he went behind this island. So, and there's the gearing. Now, the Kronshtadt does have radar. It's 11.7 kilometers, and it is a very short duration. I think with the radar upgrade mod, it is 28 seconds, so not very long at all. But it's nice to have. Defensive fire isn't anything special. It's not bad. It is not tier 10 defensive AA, that is for sure. It is not a Buffalo AA, that is for sure. It is definitely not a Des Moines, probably not a Hindenburg AA on a AA spec ship. But it obviously it'll panic the attacking squadrons, and it will shoot down a fair amount of them. I think I've probably averaged about half of each squadron, so nothing crazy, but nice to have. And we lose our Kurfürst. So the A flank, we still have guys pushing into the cap, even though he's in a Buffalo, and he's pushing into at least a battleship, potentially two of them, and a cruiser and a DD. So yeah, my team hasn't played very well or very wise. So I believe this is the Iowa, who's pretty low in B. Basically doing what my entire team has done, which is overextending and becoming the focus of multiple ships. And before I can finish him, our gearing takes him down with a torpedo. Yeah, our gearing. I'm not really sure what to say about this guy. Sometimes you're critical of somebody, and then at the end of the game, they are top of the leaderboard or second or third, and they've surely, threw some weight on their back and done some carrying. But I don't really understand his play here. He was with us. He helped us capture C. He has the opportunity to go back to B. And yes, I understand there is a Missouri in B. But he could be of a little bit more value to us. Instead, you notice he's dropping torps, running away, and interestingly enough, he actually heads to A and leaves me and the Moskva to fend for ourselves. Luckily for us, flipping our Moskva takes out the enemy gearing, so there's still a low health gearing left. He hasn't been spotted lately. His last known position is in the A cap, and that was probably when we actually had ships over there. But so our gearing is heading over to A. Me and Flip are going to push into B and potentially take B back. Flip is in the process of taking C, although it's not easy because he is taking some incoming rounds from that Missouri. I whacked the Missouri for 11K, no Citadel, but a good hit. Missouri has a Kurfürst coming in behind him, and here comes some torpedoes from our gearing, and he eats, it looks like he ate two of them. at least 2. That was a good hit from the Missouri. I mean, I'm sorry, the gearing on the Missouri. So again, torp and run. Probably could have played that C objective and taken that, but instead he went past it and he went to A. So yeah, I mean, he's definitely helping, but we're not really focusing at this point on the objectives. I mean, we're trying, but there's only so much Moskva sitting in a cap is going to be able to do as far as capping. The Kerfurs and the Buffalo appear to be heading toward me, as well as the Rune. And the Buffalo's pretty low health. The Kerfurs is about 60% health, so this is going to be a fight. I'm not really sure that how this is going to go against this Kerfurs, but I'm gonna give it my best. And again, we have our gearing torping from, you know, almost max range, I would guess, probably 12-15 kilometers. So Kerfur's secondaries open up on me. It appears the Kerfurs is still focusing. Oh no, he's focusing me. I thought he was focusing Flip and C. But he is focusing me. I'm taking shots from the Rune, the Buffalo, and the Kerfurs now, as well as the secondaries from the Kerfurs. Although I managed to get to about max range of his secondaries, so I'm not sure if he has a secondary build or manual secondaries, but he's not doing as much as he could. It looks like he took a couple torps. And speaking of torps, right on cue. Here comes some gearing torps. And our enemy gearing gets spotted, and he is very, very low. Our gearing gets off 1-2 salvos and gets him. So that's kind of good. Unfortunately, at the same time, we lost our Moskva. So it is now myself and the gearing against the Buffalo, the Rune, and fortunately for me, I get the Kerfurs. So yeah, a couple notes about my build on this ship. I basically just dropped my Moskva captain in it, so this captain does have concealment, does have advanced fire training. What else? You know, turret rotation, adrenaline rush. I'm gonna guess it has superintendent and possibly vigilance. I'll have to double check on that. I'm not sure. It is a build out with the range mod. So I have a 21.4 kilometer main gun firing range. I've gone back and forth between this and the reload mod. What I don't like about the reload mod is it slows the turrets down, but it does give you a little bit faster reload. I think I'm going to have to play with that a little bit and figure out what my final solution will be. I don't know. A couple of good salvos to the bow of this Buffalo. I was hoping when he came back into visibility that he was going to go broadside to me, or I'd catch him going broadside. I did not. That last salvo did no damage to him, and my front turrets finish him off for a Kraken. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do at this point. We're down a couple hundred points, and there's only a minute left. Our gearing will get into C and potentially stop the point bleed, but it's just not going to be enough. So between my division and the gearing, we account for 9 of the 11 kills. So some lifting by us for sure. And again, while I don't agree with what this gearing did, I think he could have played that a little differently. He still was pretty instrumental in helping us drag this game out to the very last second. Unfortunately, this Rune, who I took shots at a couple times earlier, is not going to come back into my range, and it's not going to be spotted. I'm sure his teammates are saying, run! But 194k loss. Yep. Welcome to my world. Good game overall, though. I can't complain. I enjoy this boat. 739,000 credits, 194,000 damage, 5 citadels, 5 kills. Kraken and a Confederate. Base XP is... Come on, rotate. There we go. Base XP is 1574 and a loss, so not too bad. Again, Moskva's right behind me, Gearing's right behind him, and our other Kronshtadt is a couple of positions down. So yeah, these 3 ships really did a lot of work. Fun game, good game. Big damage across the board, 42, 26, 24, 20, 13, 32, and 29. Everybody I hit for a reasonable or sizable amount of damage, so that's a testament of how this ship plays. I hope you enjoyed the video, and feel free to like, subscribe, comment, whatever you got to do. Thanks for watching.